All right, it is Free Comic Book Day, which is an interesting timing coincidence. It's with the May the 4th thing that everybody's going with. But does anybody care about any of this stuff anymore? I don't know. I know that I'm going to go down to my local comic book store as a comic book creator and longtime customer. I do still support my local store and like those guys, despite the fact that, you know, the corporate products coming out of Marvel DC are just been a disaster. It's to the point where it's tough to care anymore, and that's been seen across the board. I mean, you even see the videos by your boy Zach and Comics by Perch and Thinking Critical. Those are like the three leading channels in comic commentary outside of this one, and the comics really have just died off. I really think the Ed Piskor situation really soured mainstream comics for a long, long time to come. Even after all the woke stuff, all the just destruction of these characters, it's just been too much. It was just like a final nail in the coffin, and I don't see these things coming back. And we've got a really sad story for Free Comic Book Day today, because the original Free Comic Books Day shop, one of the biggest and most defenders of the comic lore, defenders of comics honor, is going to be gone. And this is a comic shop closing beyond any others. It's really, really sad to watch. My name is John Delarose. I'm a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator. This is my web store. I sell mostly my books on here, and you can see I've got a whole slate of comics. What I want you to check out if you're a new reader for the channel is Overmind right here, which is a science fiction epic. This is such a great property. Everybody who reads this book, I've gotten some great reviews again this week from new customers because we've got a lot of new Warhammer 40K fans watching the channel. This is going to be great stuff for you. If you like Star Wars, Warhammer 40K, anything on that level, this is a good spot to start. And it's got a great message, kind of against like the social media mob mentality, but with a sci-fi twist. So check this out. This is in my web store. As I said, the link's in the description below. And I ship these out right away. I've got a ton of these. I just printed a new batch of them. And we're going to be doing a second volume later this year on Kickstarter called The Hidden Emperor, which is going to amp things up in this world. So you want to hop on board now. Thanks so much for supporting our channel and supporting our artistic effort with books. And gosh, there's a lot of choices for you if anything else looks good too. Thanks again. So here is a story from the San Jose Mercury News, and this is my local news. And this is probably, I shouldn't say this because this is how places get canceled just for my being a customer. I mean, it's that silly. They will get. I went to a comic shop once, and the guy was really, really nice. This is a different comic shop. Actually blasted out my Kickstarter because he saw how he liked my comic books. He got people coming in, shrieking at him, calling him a Nazi and all that, and saying they were never going to frequent his comic shop again, just because he was like, "Hey, check out this book." I'm dead serious. It's that bad. But this is the comic shop I go to. Sorry, Joe, if you're... I hope you don't get any flack for that. I've been a customer here since I was, 16, 17, 18. And Joe Field really is one of the real ones. Flying Colors Comics. This guy cares about comics more than anything else. He's dedicated his life to comics. This is a real comic shop. It's not a Funko Pop shop, just pretending to be a comic shop. It is wall-to-wall comic books. Joe knows his comic history. He actually carries stuff like that are the reprints of the old 1940s and 50s books that are really cool. I mean, this is just a delight of a shop. Everybody who works there is a wonderful person, super sweet. Gosh, just again, I'm sorry, just my saying that it shouldn't be controversial, but I know he's going to get some flack just because of that. I should be banned from the store because I make YouTube videos that Heather Antos doesn't like, right? But that's the thing. When you have a true love of the passion of the books and things like that, the politics doesn't matter. I'm sure Joe's probably a liberal guy, but it doesn't matter. We love comics and we talk comics. We don't talk these other things. And that's how it should be. That's how a business should operate with customers, and that's why this is such a great place. And so Joe's come up with a bunch of initiatives over the years to try to get interest in comic books, and Free Comic Book Day is one of them. He created Free Comic Book Day. This is his deal. And all these companies that give the free comic books to customers and all that across the nation now to make this an event is all his doing. So you can thank him for that. If you're a consumer who loves it, if you're a corporate who likes promotion, this is the guy who did this for you. And as you can see, it's the last free comic book day at the place where it was created. So Flying Colors is going to be forced out of their shopping center at this point. And so here's what he says about the creation of Free Comic Book Day. I came up with the idea of Free Comic Book Day when I was a columnist for an industry trade magazine. I was scratching for ideas. My deadline was looming. Looked out the front window of the shop to see a long line of people, and none of them were coming into my shop. They were headed next door to Baskin Robbins for free scoop night. Yeah, good ice cream next door, too. I thought the comics were cooler than ice cream. Let's do this. So free scoop night was a thing, and a lot of companies do this. Like Taco Bell does their free promotions periodically, and it works. It drums up a ton of interest for these places. And so we did this for the comic industry. And here's the deal. This is going to be the last one for Flying Colors here. What's happened over the last couple of years with Flying Colors is, COVID hit. It had a problem for a while. The comics are down. And it's not that the shop's completely closing down at this juncture. Joe doesn't know what he's going to do, but the shopping center is actually forcing them out because they said, you know what? We don't believe that comics are going to be around for another 5-10 years. So we're gonna lease your space to another company that we believe is going to last. And these real estate companies that own these sorts of things, I actually have a depth in commercial real estate trade. They look at these things, especially in shopping centers, for diversity of tenants, not just like in the skin color sense, but in the like trying to get a lot of different types of businesses in. They also look at tenants that will draw people to the shopping centers so that other tenants are interested in leasing other spaces there. They also look at just health of businesses for the long term because they want to have somebody in there and not have to worry about releasing the spaces every 3 to 5 years. And with the comic industry going the way it is and other shops closing on, it seems like an almost weekly occurrence now. I don't see this lasting all that much longer. The comic industry has actually even finally admitted there's a problem. It used to be the last few years that if you say, hey, comic sales are dying, they'd give you all these fake statistics. Marvel and DC now hide their sales numbers. I talk to several people within the industry and get actual pictures of what things are going on. I don't get exact numbers, but I get little snippets of data from my industry contacts that say, hey, this is not selling well. Just as a heads up for you, John, just so you kind of know where things are at. And a lot of people don't get that. So what happens is you get these comic pros out there, and like you see like Tom Taylor with his gay Superman he was doing a couple years ago, would go out and go, oh, our Amazon rank is really good. We're #1 in superhero comics. And what that meant was like not much, because in terms of like #1 of superhero comics on Amazon, it wasn't even selling. Amazon shut down their digital comicsology app because they just didn't care. It was not a big enough part of their business to matter. And so they try to move the needle and lie about how bad things are, and it's been hitting. Like nobody's interested in these books anymore. Nobody's interested in Marvel Comics. They've made everybody into a either gay or black version of the way, and trying so hard to promote that. I mean, they almost went so far. They were going to replace Batman, believe it or not, with a black counterpart because they wanted to Miles Morales him. And retailers actually fought back against that in a retail meeting with DC a couple years ago. So they lucked out on that. But they still can't tell a good Batman story because these woke writers just aren't actually interested in preserving these properties, creating new interesting stories. We've seen it time and time again. And so now this is the Free Comic Book Day creation shop. It's going to be gone next year, and there's nothing we can do about it. The retail center said you're out, and rents are too high to support comic book shops pretty much anywhere else at this point. So they are struggling to find a place to go. And this might be the end of Flying Colors comics. And if that's the case, I mean, there's not that many comic shops that actually carry comics like and actually provide this as a customer service anymore. I mean, there's only a few hundred left that really are comic book stores. This is going the way of the dinosaur, and it's super, super sad. So enjoy it while it lasts. I'd say go out and give your guys some support today. Try to support some indies. Try not, if you can, if you go in there, get some back issues or some indies so you're not getting the current Marvel or DC schlock of these people who hate you and they want you dead. Go try some other stuff for once. And gosh, just sad news today. Very sad news that this is going to be the last free comic book day from the shop that created it. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button, my friends. And if you want to check out some books, make sure to grab mine on my web store. These are books from people who don't hate you. And Overmind is a great one to start with, like I said. We'll see you soon.